Hello friends, hope you're doing great, and a big thanks for visiting us again. So let's hop into an update where Gwynne Shotwell is going to fully supervise the Starship development program at Starbase. Recently it's come out that SpaceX President and COO Gwynne Shotwell is going to completely supervise the Starship development in place of Musk, while Musk focuses his full attention for the revival of recently purchased Twitter. Sources state SpaceX is reorganizing its Starship program as Elon Musk's November launch deadline looms, putting top Musk lieutenant Gwynne Shotwell in charge. As we know, Gwynne Shotwell has been attached to SpaceX as an executive and as well as Musk's second-in-command for quite a long time. Her fame is quite known, and she's widely respected inside the company for transforming Musk's creative ideas into a valuable and healthy venture. Often in some older SpaceX employees, there's been a saying that they work for Gwynne, not Elon. Shotwell was hired by Musk back in 2002, and it was mostly for her insight for business and sole expertise that helped SpaceX to survive by drawing a billion-dollar contract from NASA back in 2008. And that contract saved SpaceX. After that, she became the president and chief operating officer of SpaceX. And for the last 14 years, Shotwell continues to hold both of the posts. SpaceX is also thankful to Shotwell for securing several billion dollars of launch contracts from all possible sectors. Till now, Musk had been monitoring Starship development program at Starbase at a full rate. But recently, after purchasing the social media company Twitter for a high price of $44 billion, Musk had to shift his attention to the company for its revival. Almost immediately after taking over the company, he fired several of the senior employees and executives, and many had resigned, which cut off almost half the Twitter staffs, in turn marring the company's technical expertise. According to some reports, many existing advertisers had left, with a fear that this recent takeover will bring upon detrimental changes which will possibly work as a threat to them. Ultimately, these events had led to the fall in the revenue of the company. On the 10th of November, Musk had also stated that Twitter is losing billions of dollars per year and could face bankruptcy if their plans to charge a subscription for a verification badge doesn't go well. Some sources state that Musk mentioned that Twitter had net negative cash flow of several billion dollars and that he recently sold a bunch of Tesla stock in order to save the company. And due to these events, Musk had to pay more time to Twitter's revival, forcing him to step back from some of his day-to-day work at SpaceX and Tesla. But Starship development is the most important and crucial project to determine the future of interplanetary transport, and presently it's the most discussed project in the space industry, so it can't be left without a supervisor. Therefore, Musk had appointed his second-in-command, Gwynne Shotwell, for supervising the future-bound project. Reports say that after her appointment as the supervisor, she'll take over the leads from Senior Director of Starship Operations, Shyamal Patel. It's expected that Musk's appointment of Shotwell may be an attempt to take up employee concerns regarding working conditions at Starbase. Earlier, Shotwell had mainly focused on SpaceX's Dragon, Falcon, and Starlink programs. Now the Starship comes under her management in a full-fledged manner. Interestingly, as per sources, though working for other SpaceX programs, Shotwell had also monitored some portions of Starbase operations and the Starship program to some degree. But still, it's not much surprising, as being a reputable COO and president of such a company, she'll definitely have a look on all of its programs, especially on such a program as Starship, which is the future of SpaceX as well as humanity. SpaceX's Starship development is needed to pace much faster in a concrete manner, as Musk had once stated that SpaceX could go bankrupt if Starship wasn't ready to begin launching the next generation of Starlink internet satellites in the near future, without which Starlink constellation would become a liability for SpaceX. So, therefore, Shotwell becomes the most wanted person who can work in the place of Musk and carry the program forward. Let's move to our next update. Recently, SpaceX made a sizable purchase of a Twitter advertising package. Elon Musk's aerospace business will be using this advertisement to promote its Starlink brand of satellite internet service. Currently, the billionaire's aircraft business is investing in a Twitter advertising campaign in Spain and Australia. The Takeover ad campaign will reportedly be marketed on Twitter in the two locations. One of these advertisement packages will set you back at least $250,000 according to a CNBC article. Additionally, it would give customers the option of having their brand name displayed above the main Twitter timeline for an entire day. One current and former employee of Twitter who wished to remain anonymous has confirmed the information. As a result, Twitter users can anticipate seeing the Starlink brand advertisement the first 3 times they open up the app on a day, or even on days of the anticipated takeover campaign. However, this is still restricted to only Spain and Australia. On the day or days of the anticipated takeover campaign in Australia and Spain, users should initially see 3 Starlink brand messages when they open the Twitter app. The recently acquired campaign was supposed to start running in Australia and then move on to Spain over the next few days. Starlink uses a constellation of satellites to beam internet to paying customers, who also need to buy terminals from SpaceX to access it. Starlink was created by SpaceX with the intentions of bringing high-speed internet access to people in areas that are underserved by cable or fiber optic infrastructure or are completely unserved. As the chief twit, or more formally, CEO of Twitter, which is still a major global social media platform, Musk now finds himself in the position of having to sell online advertising. Before Musk's contentious takeover agreement, Twitter had about 237.8 million monetizable daily active users. At least half of Twitter's revenue should come from subscribers, according to Musk, who's on a mission. Let's move to our next update. For the first time since January 2020, SpaceX intentionally destroyed a Falcon 9 booster rather than making an effort to land or see the rocket. The unusual mission, which carried Intelsat's twin Galaxy 31 and 32 communication satellites built by Maxar and weighing approximately 6.6 tons or 14,600 pounds at liftoff, placed them in a high geostationary transfer orbit (GTO), which will enable them to begin operating more quickly than a standard GTO would. SpaceX, at Intelsat's request and for a fee, removed all landing-related hardware from Falcon 9 and chose not to try to recover the first stage in order to launch such a heavy payload to such a high supersynchronous transfer orbit. Instead, the rocket used all of the propellant that would have normally been saved for recovery in its first and only burn, accelerating as quickly as it could before separating from the second stage. Booster B-1051 for the Falcon 9 didn't attempt a controlled flip or a drone ship landing during its 14th flight since its March 2019 debut. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your valuable feedback in the comment section. This will help us to improve.